He called my friend and he said, hey man, some weird stuff is happening at the house. He said, oh yeah, what's going on? He's like, I'm seeing little people in the backyard and coming out of the vents in the house. And my friend was like, you what? Like, I'm seeing little people in the house. It's kind of tripping me out. And so my friend called me. He's like, hey, Pastor, I'm not sure what's going on, if he's into witchcraft or what this guy's into. He said he'd like to meet with you. Would you be willing to meet with him and me? And I said, I would be happy to, somewhere public. We met at a Starbucks, the three of us. Super nice guy. And we were sitting there having a nice conversation. And I said, all right, tell me what's been going on in your life, man. He says, well, I've been an alcoholic for 10 years. He's like, whoa, there's a little person crawling up the inside of your shirt. He's sitting 2 feet in front of me and I'm like, nothing there. And he says, hey, I'm afraid to go back to the house. Could I stay at one of your houses tonight? You want to help the guy, but you're also like, all right, what? I don't know what's going on with this guy. So I went and stayed at his house and we slept in the living room. I slept on the floor. Someone was on a couch. Somebody else was on the floor. And I will tell you that I didn't sleep very much that night. Slept with one eyeball open because I didn't know what in the world was going on. And I called one of my elders who was a drug rehab counselor. I said, man, I'm just going to bounce this off this guy. I have no idea what's going on. And so I called him up and I was like, hey man, here's what's going on. Does this sound like anything? I mean, what's your take on this? And he says, you told me he quit drinking alcohol cold turkey a couple days ago. I was like, yeah, 100%. He's like, that's it. I was like, what do you mean that's it? I'd never heard anything like this before. And he's like, when an alcoholic quits cold turkey, they can have hallucinations and see stuff that's not there. And I was like, I had no idea about it. He said, you need to take him down to the emergency room at the hospital and they can help him out. I remember that time and I was like, man, the devil used alcohol in this man's life to chain him and to hold him hostage. I could see firsthand what the devil was doing to this guy's life through the use of alcohol. And no matter what interpretation people take of the different verses on alcohol, I think the Bible is consistent and clear that the use of alcohol has no business in the life of a Christian. You never know who's struggling with it. And how horrible would it be if we were a stumbling block to somebody who is struggling with it? God wants us to be clear-minded so that we can differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. And you will only be able to do that if you are sober-minded.